Hello, everyone. My name is Brendan Bishop, and I am doing Chapter 7 Motivating Behavior. Next slide. My first slide. What is motivation? The definition of motivation is the intensity of a person's desire to begin or continue engaging in the pursuit of a goal. There's three ways that a manager can go about doing it. Sorry about that. There's three ways that a manager can go about doing this. The first one is that managers must be able to motivate the employees to work for them to attain and execute the strategies and the goals of the organization. This is important because the employees are going to have to work for the managers for organization to be effective. Another one would be managers must be able to understand their own motivations in order to obtain what they want the most. Managers themselves are in charge, so they need to know their own motivations, like why they're working for the company or why they want to be where they're at. And the third one is that a manager must understand the needs and values and motivations of their employees to better recruit and select, train, retain, and develop employees to perform at their highest level of performance. Personally, if I was at an organization and I wasn't motivated, I don't know how long I would want to continue working at this organization or why I would even be working there in the first place. So a manager needs to reach deep down and understand the employees that they are in charge of and understand their values to get a better understanding for future hiring processes and so forth. Next slide. There are 3 steps in the basic motivation process. The first one is that a person has unmet needs or wants that they want to somehow obtain or gather the right resources so that they can accomplish a certain feat. The next step is that the next step is that they need to decide what the goal is and how they're going to go about getting there, discovering the techniques or the time allotted or what they need to do to get to that next step. The third step is the drive and the intensity and the effectiveness of how they go about doing it, basically. And this will result in either the person attaining the goal that satisfies the need that they want, or either they'll fail. It just depends upon the person. And as my slide says, the motivation of that person will affect the outcome. Like a person that is very driven and motivated will easily be able to accomplish what they want to accomplish. Someone who easily gives up and quits is probably most likely going to fail when it comes to meeting their goals. The next slide. The next slide is about the keys to making work actually motivating. That's funny to say because a lot of people are probably laughing right now, like, how is work actually motivating? Well, some of the keys out of the text were that what makes work motivating is that it could be interesting or challenging, which is the case sometimes. We don't really realize it. Another step would be that it allows the development of new skills. I mean, even at my job, I've learned new things over the course of my job. Meeting new people, and discovering new techniques of how to accomplish the job over time. The third step would be Third step would be it provides a needed income or benefit such as healthcare or even a paycheck, because obviously we all have bills, but we always like to have extra money to go out and do things that we enjoy, like going to the movies, going shopping, or going to events such as sports games. The fourth step would be that it provides prestige or status. The fifth step is that it keeps us busy. This is very popular in my job. I work at Publix, so a lot of the people in my department are already retired and have come back to work because they have nothing to do, and they want something to keep them busy throughout the day. The sixth step would be that it provides social contact. A lot of us, we make new friends at work all the time, and we end up becoming great friends. How many people can you name off the top of your head that you met at work that are one of your really good friends today? I bet you a lot of them You could think of a lot. And the last step that makes work motivating is that it's a way to give back to the community and help others. Next slide. The next slide is about Douglas McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. This is a theory that was described as either a negative or a positive. Theory X is considered a negative person. So if you were considered a Theory X by Douglas McGregor's theory, it is defined as basically that people that don't like work, they try to avoid it whenever possible. They're just not motivated to work. A Theory Y person is more of a positive outlook. It is a belief that people enjoy the responsibility of work. They enjoy being there. They are able to make good decisions and exercise self-direction. Basically, they just are motivated to work and be there at the organization that they work for. They just feel a part of something. Next slide. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is a very popular thing that is probably brought up in a lot of courses. And this basically covers the 5 levels that strictly ties to motivation. The first one is psychological needs, which is breathing, food, water, sleep, and so forth. The next step is safety, which is like the security, body, employment, resources, morality, family, health, property, the essentials, basically. The next is a sense of belonging or love, which is friendship, family, relationships, and so forth. Friendships. The next level is self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respected by others. Basically, you need to have a positive self-esteem, and this can reflect your moral values and judgments. The last is the actual self-actualization portion, which is the top of the pyramid, which involves morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of facts. Next slide. The next slide is about Alpher's existence relatedness growth theory, which is the ERG theory. This is discovered by Clay Alpher. There's 3 groups of individual needs. Existence needs, which are the desires for physical and material well-being, including nutritional and material requirements, which a couple examples would be like pay, benefits, and working conditions. The next one is relatedness needs, desires for respect from and to relationships with others. And the third one is growth needs, which are the desires to make useful and productive contributions and to have opportunities for personal development. Next slide. The next slide is about Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory. This was developed by Frederick Herzberg in the late 1950s, and the 2 factors that this theory consists of are the maintenance needs, or basically the hygiene factors, and the satisfiers, which, furthermore, is the motivators. So basically, the hygiene factors and the motivators are the 2 factors that Herzberg was talking about when he made this theory. First, the hygiene factors are the factors such as pay, status, working conditions that produce an acceptable work environment and whose absence leads to dissatisfaction. Some of the examples can include pay, supervision, work conditions, status, company policies and administration, and interpersonal relations with colleagues. The other theory is motivators. These are the factors that are intrinsic to the job that can drive an employee to pursue excellence and whose presence increases satisfaction. Some of these examples include work itself, advancement, achievement, responsibility, growth, and recognition. Next slide. The next slide is about Hackman and Altman's job characteristics model. This involves 5 characteristics. This includes skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and task feedback. I'll briefly describe what these 5 are. Skill variety is the degree to which the job requires a variety of activities, enabling the worker to use different skills and talents. Task identity is the degree to which the job requires the work to complete a whole and identifiable piece of work. Sorry about that. Task significance is the degree to which job performance is important and affects the lives or work of others. Autonomy is the degree to which the job gives the worker freedom, discretion, and independence in scheduling the work and determining how to do the work. Task feedback is the degree to which carrying out the job's required activities results in the individuals obtaining direct and clear information about the effectiveness of his or her performance. Next slide. There are a few extra increasing motivational factors. Some of these include job enrichment, job enlargement, job rotation, and cross-training. I'll briefly explain a few of these. Job enrichment is an approach to job design that increases a job's complexity to give workers great responsibility and opportunities to feel a sense of achievement. Job enlargement is adding more tasks at the same level of responsibility and skill related to an employee's current position. Job rotation is workers are moved through a variety of jobs to increase their interest and motivation. Cross-training is training employees in more than one job or in multiple skills to enable them to do different jobs. Next slide. Goal setting and feedback. Edwin Locke and his colleagues developed the theory of goal setting as a means of understanding motivation. There are several ways that basically define what goal setting is, defined by Edwin Locke. First is participation in goal setting increases one's sense of control and fairness in the process. The second is performance is enhanced when goals are both difficult and specific. Third is a goal that is most likely to be attained when people are strongly committed to it and are given feedback showing their progress toward the goal. Fourth, people are most likely to set high goals and to be committed to them when they have high self-efficiency and believe they can reach the goals. Fifth, goals affect what people pay attention to and how hard they work and how long they work, and motivate people to find and use appropriate task strategies. Sixth and last, goals work best on simpler and well-learned tasks rather than complex and novel ones. Next slide. Vroom's valence instrumentality, sorry if I said that wrong, and expectancy theory, summed up as the VI theory. The VI theory is wanting a raise or promotion enough for you to feel motivated. The VI theory is wanting a raise or promotion enough for you as an employee to feel motivated to do your job very well. This can be defined as enhancing an employee's perception that they can perform well by ensuring that employees know what they are expected to do, that they know how to do it, that they can believe they can do it through the training, coaching, and confidence building. Next slide. Fairness. How fairly we feel we are being treated influences our motivation. Fairness perceptions affect motivation, job performance, satisfaction, organizational commitment, withdrawal behaviors, and counterproductive behaviors such as stealing. Managers can improve fairness in 2 ways. Change the fairness of the situation, change how the employees perceive the fairness of the and change how the employees perceive the fairness of the situation. Last, that pretty much sums up motivating behavior. I have 2 questions for you as the class to choose from. You can either choose the first one or the second one. The first one is, which motivational theory do you find the most effective? Or, the other one is, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, how important do you feel that an employee must be motivated to accomplish his or her job adequately and to the best of their abilities? Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing your discussions.